Hi everyone, it's Caroline. Thanks for joining me. I'm just doing some creative work in my this is my September journal. And now it's October. I'm almost finished. I've just got a few finishing touches to do. And what I'm doing here, this is a scrap piece of paper that I thought would be fun, a fun tuck spot. And I'm going to add a piece of lace. Now this was a piece of scrap paper that I was brushing off some of my edges on it, and I don't really want to show too much of the distressed ink on there. So I thought what I would do is, I'm also playing around here with just a scrap piece of music paper. So I thought that was a good color. And I had a stamp, I was doing something else and I had a stamp on there. So I think what I'll do is put this, ruffle this up like that, and then it'll just hide a little bit. It'll hide some of the grunge, which this is a Shabby grunge mini journal, and I don't want to hide my butterfly. I could actually make this a little thinner. Well, you know what? I'm just going to glue it and see where this goes. I already have something on here. I'm doing my journaling at the same time. Like I said, I'm almost finished. I'm doing a little catching up since we've been back from our daughter's place. And I could sew the ruffle. I think I'll just do it like this for now. I could start over. This is a very small piece of scrap, but it was right there in front of me, and I thought it would be a nice addition to this page. Okay, so that's good. Kind of doing a little bit of layering. Most of these pages they're not huge. This is going to go on top like that because I like the peachy pink. I like that idea. I also have this, I'm almost done these little calendar pieces. I don't even know where this came from. And I like these colors in here. It says January, but it doesn't matter. I don't know if I'm going to use it. I probably won't use it on here. I already started to stamp something. I was practicing. I like to practice when I'm doing some stamping, make sure I've got enough ink on. So I like to have a piece of paper ready to go. But a lot of times it'll ink perfectly and then I don't want to throw it away. That's my rationale. So this is a tuck spot, so I want to leave that open. I'm going to glue this down now. This is probably one of my envelope scraps from something I was making. And I think what I'll do is just give it a little bit of glue down here too, just so it doesn't, whatever I put in there doesn't escape. This was fussy cut. I couldn't even tell you where, oh, look, see, there's something else on the other side. I couldn't tell you where I got this. Now, there's a rose on this side, so I don't know if I'm going to put another rose on, but I do have these feathers that were in my little feather collection, and I could put one of these on. I'm going to try and fussy cut a little bit more of this edge off. This was actually a little gift from my mom. She had bought them for me when she discovered this is what my passion is. This one doesn't have much shine on it, which I like. There's a little bit of pink. So that's gonna, I think that'll be pretty right there instead of another flower just beside. There's lots of flowers in here. This is a label that I had made. I'm going to make this a little bit thinner. This is a very thin label that I made. I think I'm going to think I'm going to cut it like that. So I'll keep this part of the label for something else. I'm going to use that to stamp on it. And then I'm going to use one of my tiny number stamps. And I'll put a number over here and that'll go across. I'll put that here. Keep that cluster together. I have a tag that was a Happy Mail tag, but I'm going to repurpose it in here. And I'm going to use this as my journaling spot because I think the colors go very well together. I'm going to use this side for the stamp. It's just a small stamp, and I have this pack of, or this set, and it says on here it's pink ink designs. So I don't know if that'll help, but I'm going to use this small one. You can see the ones that I've used. I'm going to use this one. I'll put that up here. Use a bit of black. I like to multi-use. I like to use my stamp block. Let's see, this is what I do. Then I'll just stamp it on here, and that worked out nice. That's what I do. And try to get it on there properly. Not hard, just sharing what I'm using. My own little label, half of one. I just made it into this, like a collage of labels. It was really fun. I'm gonna have to do that again because I'm running out. So there is my little tuck spot for this one. Going ahead and doing the next page, which has nothing on it right now. You can see a little bit of the page before that because these papers are so thin. I made an envelope, just a white copy paper envelope, and I did use a printable. I'm going to line the flap here with, this is my crocheted lace that I photocopied, I scanned. Just going over that. Nothing too difficult. The most difficult is thinking of what I want to put on there. I'm going to cut this out. And then this flap will be glued onto the page. That will be glued on like that. This one, I think I'm going to use this one. It's actually this is too big right now. I can cut a little off. Let me see what I need to cut off. Oh, maybe it does fit. No, just a wee bit. A little bit. Will that fit? Just needs to have a little bit, I guess right here. Little adjustments to get it right. So that's good there. And I don't think I'm going to do anything on here. I could give it a little bit. I have just a bit of ink on here. I could do that. I did ink a little bit on the outside of the envelope. Okay. Then I have to think of something. I'm going to think of something on the top. The journaling card in here. And for the top, I'm going to use this calendar, little calendar card to hide what's behind there. All right, that'll be great there. It's not even straight. Oh yeah, and I have this tea bag, part of a tea bag. It's getting chilly, so I've been drinking tea and saving my tea bags, which is great because I've run out. I could make them, but I wanted to use that. I'll put that on here. And yeah, I'll go this way. Oh, the other thing I'm going to layer on there is this cute little... This is a free printable. I actually have the sheet, and I'm trying to use up my printables in my little file. And this is from Shabby Art Boutique. And looks like it's an Easter one. So that was from the earlier on in the year. I'm just cutting this house out. I've already cut it out, but I don't want to use, I think what I'll do is I'll just trim, maybe I'll tear this off here and then I'll put it back up. And it doesn't matter that it's, you know, spring-like, because I like the colors. I'm using it for the colors, and it's a woodland house. I think it'll go nicely. And I can trim that off. I'll glue the envelope after I get this on. Oh, that won't even cover it, so that's good. It'll just cover it a little bit when it's flipped over like this. Fun with glue, paper, and scraps of fabric and things in your stash, in your files. It's fun to use it up. It's fun to make more. There, I love that. So in this little journal, this little mini book, you'll see I've used my own things that I've printed off, that I've made copies of, and also printables from other creators, free ones. Some of them I've paid for, but most of them are free. It's just fun to get free stuff if it's available, if it's offered. Okay, I'm going to cut this off. And I think I'll just reposition it. And I can use a little bit of, just a little bit here, a little shadowing. What a beautiful day it's turned out to be. Started off a little gray. Something right there maybe. And I don't want to add any more bulk to this, so I think I'll use this really messy stencil. That will be fun. And I have this sponge and I have my worn lipstick. I don't want to go too hard on that, too heavy. And I have all kinds of layers under there already. So let's see what that'll look like. Oh, that's heavy, but it's cute. Finishing touch on here, I just found these words, nice girl from good home. And I think that's very suitable. Just felt like having some words here. It said from good home, so it didn't say from a good home. But there. And I edged it with my pink marker. The second page that I worked on was with this envelope that I had made. I did a little bit of stamping just for fun. Added a piece of my scanned crochet on here on the flap just to give it some personality. I did also a little bit of stamping, not stamping, stenciling, and then added this scrappy piece of calendar, this card. This is my journaling card. And I did some journaling on there. And a pretty lady right here. So I thought it was appropriate when I saw these words, nice girl from good home. It just matched everything. Tea bag, a free printable here. Colors look really awesome together. Such an easy thing to do with an envelope. And I hope that you are inspired. So that was this, and then this one over here, just a lot of scraps. This was a fun tag that I received in Happy Mail, and I thought this was a perfect spot for it. And then using scraps to decorate the page. It's later at night and there are some shadows. I have embossed a piece of white copy paper, my really thin one. And what I'm going to do, so I have a couple of things here. Here's a little baby dress that I had bought, and I've been harvesting from this for a little while. This is the little roses that was on a sash. Took it apart, and I have these little just parts of the seam that I thought would be okay, that I could use in the on the cover. I also have part of the lining, so I don't know if I'm going to use that, but I have it available. Then in my scrap basket, this was the packaging for pajamas my daughter had given to me, and this came around it, and it's elastic. Oh, I'm really sorry for the shadows. And it's elastic, so I thought I could use this. Look at that. It's the perfect size. I'm going to use the white side of it, and I'm also going to cut the seam here because this is way too big for my mini journal. Even when I add, I mean, I'm almost finished, so my pages aren't going to be puffed out too much more. So I'm going to cut that. I'll cut the seam off. I was going to stop at my 2 pages, but then I came back up before bedtime and thought I just wanted to make the cover, and I found this I found this in my basket, so I thought this would be perfect. It has all these little slots, and so I don't know what I'll do with that. I'll cover it up somehow. Okay, I'm just going to measure around with my paper and do a tear. I just tore that part. That's okay. It's going to be covered, and the more tattered, the better for me for this journal. Another thing I have is this piece of lace. I also have this cording that was stained in a batch a while ago, a tea batch, and I think what I'll do is I'll make a little bow with that. So I don't know if I'm going to use my pink pieces. We will see. And I also have this piece of corrugated cardboard that has it's white, but if I peel it off, it won't be white anymore. And I don't want the whole thing, so maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just take off a little piece like that. So that has some white on it. I'll see. It's going to be there as a possibility. Okay, so I just took a piece of the lace and ruffled it. I'm only going to put a piece of lace down at the bottom because I do like all the fun layers that I'm getting here. The other thing that I decided, just trying to come up with a way to keep this elastic around, but my cover, because of the way I constructed the journal, opens. My cover opens this way. So that's my entrance into the journal is this way, not coming from the right over. So I have to keep that in mind when I'm making the, when I'm gluing everything together. I have to do, so my band will go around this way and come around here. So when I glue this down to the cover, I'll open it like this. And then, so I'll glue it like that, and I'll leave this loose. This will be loose and over here. So then I can get into the journal like this. Okay, that makes sense. Just had to go through it. So that's going to get glued on. It doesn't matter what it looks like under here because it's going to be on the cover. Just putting a generous amount of the tacky glue. I don't have any 3-in-1, so I'll just have to make do with that. And I'm holding it, just holding it here. And now I'm going to glue this part. I was thinking when I first saw this packaging tag, I thought that I would keep this slot at the top and make a tag, and that would have been fine too. But then I thought it was I saw that it was the same size that I needed for my cover, and I thought I'd make a topper. Glue is on. I'm going to hold this tight and put it down here. So there is a little bit of the page up and at the top and the bottom. I will put a clip down, let this dry, and then I will come back probably tomorrow morning when there's sunlight or daylight. Just like that. We'll let this dry and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, I'm back and taking off the clips. This will be dry now. Daylight has come. It's a new day. Oh yeah, this is going to be great. I think this is going to be... I'll be able to tie it here on this side. Okay. And then I can flip it that way. I'm going to start with my little frill. My frilly embossed white paper. I can scrunch this a little bit here. Give it a few wrinkles on top of the embossing. I'm going to take advantage of the half or a little bit of a bite out of it. I have my little piece of corrugated. Let's do some layering and make it. I want to go this way. playing with the cardboard because I do want to use it, and I'm going to flip it this way. I'm going to flip it this way. I'm going to continue to remove this white paper because I think I'm going to use my gesso. I like the texture here. Okay, I'll leave that little bit there. I have more. If it doesn't work out, it's not a big deal. This is the fun of discovery. Continue pulling apart, ripping apart till you're happy with it. I'm going to put this over here. I could use the white paint. I just feel like the gesso gives it a very matte finish, and it also dries very quickly. That's the look I'm after. I think I'm going to go with this. I have a piece of my lace that I just cut, and I'm going to start gluing this down because if I look at it too long, I'll just play with it without putting anything down. And okay, so I think I'm going to use I'll continue to use this glue. Just glue it down. I'm going to put this on. Fold it over is fine. Going to be lots of texture here. There, this came over like this. That's a fun little fold. Well, you'll notice two circles. I have this cap that I keep for using for mark making, and I put two white rings, and still drying, but I'm going to put this. This is a scrap from my little dress that I took apart, part of the seam. I'm going to put that up here. So that's one way of hiding the fact that this was a misprint and only had part of had a bite taken out of it. Little seams like this too are great for you know, embellishing, adding a little bit of scrappy texture, color. I'm going to use this little saying, Favorite Tales 241. That was on my little sheet of sayings and words. And I'm going to put my button just in that corner. Here's my cover. I'm very happy with it. Love all the little scraps that I used. Started with a piece of wrapping that came with this stretchy band. So I kept it underneath, used an embossed piece of copy paper, and I actually did give it a light, just a light brushing of my ink. And then I added this ruffle that I sewed on the machine. This little word, scrappy piece of tea-dyed lace, little piece of scrap from the dress that I've been taking apart. I was going to use the roses, opted not to this time on this journal, maybe another one. And the little button, corrugated cardboard, this piece of clock that was misprinted, feels fun. When you flip it over, you can see how this wraps around the journal. I have it just a double knot, and it stretches, so, and I can make it a little bit looser. I think it's pretty and shabby and a little grungy, and it's going to have some of my favorite tales inside. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm so happy that you came to visit. Maybe have some inspiration from my 2 pages and my cover. And just have fun. Have fun with your scraps. Come up with some fun ideas to create with a look that you like, something different. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Always be adventurous and stay cozy. Bye for now.